White House recognizing Congressman Hank Johnson of the 4th District of Georgia and the ranking member of our subcommittee on courts, IP, and artificial intelligence.
Thank you, Mr. Ranking Member and Mr. Ranking Member for holding this hearing. You know, after losing the 2020 election, the lame duck President Donald Trump embarked upon an illicit and multi-pronged scheme to remain in office beyond his term. This plan culminated in the January 6, 2021 insurrection, which failed. But Donald Trump wasn't finished. Over the next 4 years, he hatched a plan to create the conditions where, if he won the presidency again, he would never have to leave office. And during that planning process, Trump was given an assist when the Supreme Court of the United States, which he magnified with 3 appointees, ran the clock out on efforts to prosecute him while giving him immunity from prosecution for official acts while in office. Once back in the White House and with immunity so that he was above the law, Trump's first order of business was to destroy the rule of law so that he could then systematically dismantle our democracy. And there would be no checks on his illegal behavior. In less than 100 days, he has turned the Department of Justice into the Department of Injustice. He effected this transformation by installing sycophantic loyalists and purging career employees whose only offense was adherence to the rule of law. Good people like our witnesses here. But even purging career employees is not enough for a tyrant. A tyrannical leader like Trump must also intimidate people to ensure their silence. And that's why Trump's DOJ directed armed U.S. Marshals to deliver a letter to Ms. Oyer at her home about testifying to Congress. And it's why the administration is now claiming that she is muzzled by executive privilege, which is a baseless claim. And going after government lawyers is not enough for this aspiring dictator. Trump is also attacking lawyers in the private sector in an attempt to decimate our system of adversarial justice, which is crucial to a functioning legal system. Any law firms that employed lawyers who previously investigated Trump, challenged his administration, or worked on causes he didn't like were slapped with executive orders. And these executive orders threatened to strip law firms of security clearances, terminate government contracts with the firm, or deprive them of business in any way that they can, even preventing their employees from entering government buildings. The idea is to scare lawyers enough so that no one brings cases against Trump or his administration's illegal actions. And even though Trump thinks he has the Supreme Court in his pocket, he cannot risk cases working their way through the legal system and finding out that even for the justices he appointed, it might be a bridge too far in destroying our democracy. So far, Trump has issued 5 executive orders targeting top powerful and wealthy law firms to send a message to the less powerful and wealthy that if you challenge his illegal actions, they'll be held to play. Several of his targeted law firms have folded like cheap lawn chairs, while others have stood and fought back. Trump wants to scare the legal profession into silence, and we're honored today to have these brave and patriotic lawyers with us who refuse to be silenced. Mr. Crosswell, you know, you found yourself at a crossroads after Donald Trump returned to office and Acting Deputy Attorney General Bove ordered you and your colleagues at the Public Integrity Section to sign a motion to dismiss the indictment against New York City Mayor Adams. Is it true that Mr. Bove told you and your colleagues that whoever complied would be rewarded with a position of leadership within the department, and that whoever pushed back would face professional consequences?
If I could interrupt for 1 second, the witness can answer the question. We're being reminded that we have just 5 minutes each. I think a lot of us on the House side were under the impression that people spoke for 15 minutes here, but it is a 5-minute rule. We're going to comply with. Yeah.
Well, I've only gone for 5 minutes and 13 seconds. But if you would answer that question, I'll gladly yield back my time.
Congressman, my best recollection of the conversation that what was said to us was in my resignation letter, and I think it was very, very much implied, if not stated, that there'd be promotional opportunities for anyone that would sign the motion, and I also think it's very fair to say there was an implicit threat for those that won, and that was done through reference to what took place in the Southern District of New York. That's my best recollection.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Senator Klobuchar.
Yes.